Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another replay with Linksy. It's been a while since I've done a replay, and well, here we are. Good old replay. Today we have the final of a Total Warlords tournament. So believe this was their 2v2 siege final. Let's just get straight into it. Seeing it from the attacker's side, there is a Cimmeria and Saba defending. I think Samir is the BigOdrysianDylsaster and Legacy is Saba. We have then Partia by Craig and good old Essence is as the Ostriching Kingdom attacking the settlement. So it's definitely going to be an interesting siege. You never see these two factions attacking settlement and right off the bat, it just starts off with lots of bombardment from these ballistas trying to break down the Great Ballista. Talking about this settlement, there is this hill which creates so much complications and so many interesting things. Oh, right off the bat, also we got Hemiar Cavalry. I've never seen these guys. Nice scaled armor. Some Sabine Camel Cataphracts and Murray Cavalry. So that's automatically going to place the the attack areas on a back foot. But they have some Mercenary Hoplites, Thracian Slingers over there, Thracian Nobles, Thracian Cavalry. Let's see, Thracian Cavalry. It's very heavy melee cavalry. I believe it's similar to Noble Cavalry in terms of power, but then there's Royal Cataphracts for Partia. And I believe they did not. Yeah, they have some Parthian Foot Archers. Now, Parthian Foot Archers are a lovely unit. They only cost. Let's see. I actually have a note about this somewhere in my book. Yeah, I have a book about Total War stuff. So, Parthian Foot Archers only cost 400 gold, but they have 150 range and 40 missile defense. Guys, I know I'm a geek. That's what you're thinking. That's the only thing that's stuck in your head. But keep in mind, 400 gold for something this strong. 400 gold. 200 gold cheaper than Cretan archers. That means automatically you get 600 gold, which is extra Parthian swordsman, which is a very, very good unit. Now, the defense managed to burn off these two ballistas, and that's great, really and truly. You're managing to do a lot of damage to this eastern ballista, and the ballista is not managing to do the damage it wanted to do, which I believe it wanted to break down this wall over here. Of course, that is not working very well for it. However, on the other hand, we have Thracian Slingers and Thracian Bowmen up here on the wall, on the hill, getting a good coverage of the wall on that side. The mercenary hoplites over here setting up defense, and this cavalry army has been taken back. It seems Partia has been called in to assist in that attack, and finally siege towers are being moved forward. Ooh, that was decent hit there. Pity it didn't work. Now, why are these siege towers dangerous? These siege towers up here are going to fire straight into anything this way. This ballista over here got burnt by these Thracian bowmen, which moved all the way back over here, and that's using up all the ammunition possible. Now, the only good thing that came from losing these ballistas down here is that most of the ammunition on this Greek ballista from Cimmeria is gone. I have to give it to the Dylan over here for the damage he managed to do down there was quite significant, and he ruined a lot of ammunition for the giant ballista down there. But as we were saying, that the defense here is impeccable, and all the cavalry over here, I believe I saw there were 6 cavalry units, which is a massive amount of cavalry, is being completely cornered, and there's not much that's being done. Thracian horsemen are, your citizen cavalry of Thracia. This sieging kingdom is part and parcel with the Macedonian army. So you're automatically in a very good place, starting off your battle doing very well. I realized I have no water next to me, so this is going to be a very long 45 minutes. But guys, do not make the same mistake as I did. Get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, some water, and so you can watch this game in peace and quiet. While there's a small lull in the battle, check the description box as well, because there is the giveaway, Total War Attila. Key is for giveaway. It has, I think, 6 days left. And yeah, I mean, you could win the game, and you could be playing 12-12 AD. Which is strange when you're promoting a game for its mods, but 1212 AD is a work of art, a work of love and art. Now, I have to say though, I usually prefer attacking down here from this side when I'm attacking the settlement, like breaking through here and breaking through here, which is debatable on the results, various results of doing such a technique. But because this area is insanely defensible, like you have 1, 2, 3 layers, and as well here and here. But at the same time, this area is easily taken out, and that offers multiple entrances into the settlement. Now the step lancers are out. Medium shock cavalry, very, very good because they're fast, but they also get ripped to shreds really easily. Half of the army of the attackers is being focused over here. More Trichinobos are being brought up. Trichinobos, amazing. I mean, 76 melee attack. It's absolutely nuts. And out of that, I believe, and the 45 weapon damage. Sorry, they have 15 armor piercing. So they'll cut through anything. The main problem is their melee defense is 14, and they have 55 armor. So that's not going to go very well into their direction. Now, just so you guys know, I did see part of this, and over here there's a lot of troops, and I'm not sure how they're not being seen, because if I was sitting up here like, hey, dang, oh god, there was a lot of troops over here, and they weren't seen, so possibly that was the main reason why the damage was not being done by these siege towers. They're being brought down to kind of neutralize these arrow towers. This ballista only got 26 kills, not very high kills, but however, these Dacian ballistas up here, I'm going to have a free shots into all of these soldiers down on this side. As we're talking about this, the camels are getting in, it's a standoff down here, 6 versus 6, and the damage would be insane. Now, something that I would perhaps have done is I would have feinted a retreat while I was putting units up here, because the only way they could see, no, the defense see everything, but actually no, I scratched that. The defense can see everything, they can see what's up here, so they wouldn't have been able to feint a retreat. Perhaps hiding some troops in the bush over there would have done it. He's trying to bait them in using Tracian horsemen, which could be a good idea because they're fast enough to run away from pretty much everything over here. That is the true skill of a caster, by the way. Just keep speaking with a yawn halfway through your sentence. As we're saying this, Parthia has bought a lot of Parthian swordsmen. I see a unit of Persian hoplites, which is decent, I guess. And along with their foot archers and some hillmen, they should be able to get over these walls easily. Now, the downside of this tournament is that basically they decided the factions for each other, and they decided for Parthia for Craig, and the Stygian Kingdom for Essence. And this is why the name of this video is what it is, and it's just, all in good fun, Mercenary hoplites moving forward. Definitely is, I mean, these guys are not doing much, but they are slowing down the assault on the main town as it is. It's strange that you cannot see anything that's going down here. I'm enjoying the fact that I respect the graphic stats a bit, and it looks slightly better than it has been looking over the past few weeks. We zoom in, especially, you can see stats, and there is this, the line of Musgrave Marauders, Scythian swordsmen, and these guys are not having a good time, because I know Essence, what he'll do is he will march them into hell, and oh, that was actually an underwhelming shot. 15 kills, but this one just ripping through the front lines of those Musgrave Marauder mercenaries and just doing so much damage. That unit is already down 40 men, and another shot is going to come in straight into these desert levy, and all of these troops are pretty much getting ripped and cut into shredderonis. Something he could also do, which is absolutely insane, is just throw a rock up here, and like this corner over here, there's a bunch of 15 men, you can get them killed really easily. Of course, he's saving his ammunition. With 3 shots he did get 52 kills, which is a lot, especially those Musgrave Marauders, which are pretty much the best melee infantry that there is in this game. More troops are being shot by the artillery, and yeah, as I was talking, being able to shoot there. Now, really interesting glitch in this game is when you're using your ballista to attack, it will not clip through the arrow tower, but if you're using this ballista, you should be able to clip through both towers and being able to fire all the way down there. So that will do damage. The desert levy are being shot down by these tribal slingers who are having a field day down here, killing all of these units and having a good time, just, you know, getting their kills in. The bowmen as well, just shooting and massacring all of these troops. Unfortunately, I must say, they are hitting quite a few of these that remnants of that ballista. So the damage is being done severely. I am not sure why the wall was held there, because you needed, in my opinion, the way you defend is you hold here, you keep this hill defended, and then you hold this ground. It doesn't matter that they go down. Yes, this is the capture point, but if they go down, you can easily block it here and archer fire from up here, and they will easily get surrounded. So it's not optimal. Also, another thing, why are these guys being let to form up? You do not let them form up. Sabo's wasting the ammunition into this unit over here, and at the point there is a lot of units he could be firing at up here, which again should be fired at, but they're not being fired at. Muskrat Marauders over here, they're already heavily damaged. These Desert Levy are pretty much annihilated, they're breaking. How are these guys doing? The Thracian Slingers are okay. Thracian Bowmen, 35 damage, 105 range, not the best unit, but they're doing very well. So that levy, Desert Levy is broken. Now they're shooting into the Sabian swords, which are also experiencing some troubles holding their position. As we're saying that over here, there's the great staring contest of, I don't know which year they're playing in. So those Lizard Levy breaking, these Muskrat Marauders are down to 30 men already. These Sabian archers over here, a little bit of overlapping with the Sabian swordsmen, not all of them are firing, which is not the worst thing that happens, but of course, damage is being done to these Parthian swords. Parthian swords charging in into the Sicilian hoplites, and they are going to do a lot of damage. Now, they could technically march up along this line, but it could be seen as pushing through. Yeah, as we're saying this, these Sabian archers are getting targeted by Essence's artillery, which are doing a lot of damage. Perhaps the Muskrat Marauders would have been a better choice than these loosely formed Sabian archers, especially if these Parthian foot soldiers over there are in position. I would have waited a little bit more. Those shots, as effective as they are in killing 15 Sabian archers, didn't do the best of damage. Perhaps even trying to clip into this Stygian hoplite, breaking that would leave only some swordsmen and Muskrat Marauders, which you can easily, you know, cleave through with your Parthian swordsmen, which are slightly, I believe they're slightly better than the Muskrat Marauders. Muskrat Marauders, of course, have more. Oh wow, he's having not that very success. Okay, not great success. 4 shots. Essence was not at top of. Oh, beautiful. I was gonna say he's not on top of his game. Poor picking on the poor guy. He's having a hard time, of course, because he's playing with the Stygian Kingdom. No, the thing you need to know about this is they have such a limited roster. They have such a limited units. Their best missile units are their slingers and their base slingers, so they're not something special. And everything else is basically Thracian warriors, which have decent melee and defense attack, but their armor and melee defense and weapon damage, but their melee defense and armor are just so horrible. So you need to do as much as possible with these shots from up here. And he's doing damage. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of damage. He's gotten 100 kills across a couple of Muskrat Marauders. Muskrat Marauders are such an important unit. As we're saying this, taking these out, they're basically the best unit in the game for Saba in terms of melee and for defending the settlement. Again, these cavalry not doing much. Potentially there was a lot of microing happening here and they didn't want to risk. Of course, the attackers do not want to fight underneath the siege towers, the arrow towers, whereas the defenders didn't want to, you know, charge out to certain doom in that situation. No, I'm not sure what is happening. As I was saying, these Thracian warriors tend to die really quickly, but yeah, there they are. So they're trying to capture the gate over here. These warriors over. Oh, I did not have the map up. There you go. It's easier to see. I've been closing it a bit more often because of the games I was playing. Thracian Royal Cavalry. Where's Thracian Royal Cavalry? Where did I see Thracian Royal Cavalry? Wait. Yeah, that's the Thracian Royal Cavalry. Okay, I was like, what? What is happening? What was I saying? Yeah, because I've been playing day and I've been playing a lot of the 10 turn guides, which you guys seem to be enjoying, and I'm having fun. Yeah, tomorrow there will be the Arveni one, which I recorded already, and it was quite fun to do that campaign in 10 turn guides. I might, if you guys want, also do the 20 turn in total, simply because the first 10 turns there is only so much you can do as Arveni. Arveni is a faction that you play slowly with, as it does have its limitations in terms of starting location and starting resources, etc. But you can get far anyway. That's a discussion for another video. As we're getting here, I mean, the walls have been pretty much taken. Even if they do a push now, it's not much left that can be done. The artillery up here, 140 kills, not bad. These Thracian bowmen are decent kills themselves, and these slingers have a lot of decent kills. Considering they still have ammunition, do they still have ammunition? Ooh, wait, let's see. Yeah, they still do have ammunition, and that is very important for the end game. As well as these Parthian foot archers, they are so important. Look at these boys. Look at these boys. They have beards. Their beards are everything. See, the Musgrave Marauders are actually winning against the Hellmen, of course. As Cimmerian heavy archers over here, just doing so much. Side note, guys, I have to apologize. Yeah, they're doing a lot. You usually don't want to fight with your archers on the inner side of the walls because they are easy picking. So this was perhaps a bad move from the side of the attackers. Now, another reason why Parthian foot archers are very strong. I just forgot this. They have precision shot. As you could see, their missile damage was quite high. These Cimmerian archers doing very well and getting a lot of kills. They perhaps could be the reason why you would win the game. I won't spoil who won, I know, but I won't spoil it. The attack is doing very well at the moment, but it is, getting blocked by these troops down here. These Sabian swordsmen, Musgrave Marauders, Sitchin hoplites. It's a lot to deal with, as well as the Musgrave Marauders and Sabian archers over here prepared to do the damage. As we're saying that, oh, they moved last second. They're moving the. They're really doing. Dylan's doing a really good job of dodging those shots, and that is not an easy shot from all the way down there. Like, just keep in mind, this is the point of view that the ballista has at this point. He's looking over here. He's like, all right, I need to hit somewhere over there. And it was very close shots. Like, if we zoom in, we should be able to see more or less. Yeah, so it hits there, hits a couple of places here. It's very close, but these Sitchin hoplites are doing a decent job in defending that area. Perhaps it's best to capture the gate and flood in through the gate, open this area, and start shooting the archers into there. So it's also perhaps ideal to stop shooting with the ballista at this point and bringing everything inside. But again, hindsight is 2020, and that is the case. Musgrave Marauders up here going up. Why are they going up on the wall? These Thracian soldiers doing very well. I believe. Oh, okay. This Thracian unit over here melted. As we were talking, Thracian soldiers are very strong, but of course they do have their weakness, and their weakness is that they die really fast, really quickly if they are exposed to any form of missile fire. They are basically just wearing their capes and a loincloth. But these marauders are being wasted. Honestly, if those marauders are held back, this could have been an easy win for the defenders, because that's all they needed. I'm very much impressed with the defense till now, though. It's, I mean, on this side, there's been some mistakes, clearly, with the Sabian archers being left out of position, etc. They're managing to hold really well. And this is, again, why it's so important to have your archers up here, like, protecting all of these areas. There is another version of this map where the capture point is all the way up here, and honestly, that is just so much harder for the attackers to capture. Now, ooh, I see. I'm not sure if you saw that, but the Cimmerian heavy archers have been placed here. They perhaps will want to come up on this way and start shooting down at this Magian cavalry. And yeah, they're retreating. I believe the attackers saw that as well, and are retreating, and that's a very smart move from their end. Now these Sabian swords are falling slowly. These Musgrave Marauders are pretty much dead, but these archers are getting so many quality shots into those Thracians. And as we were saying, that there is some Thracian nobles left which are so much better than basic Thracian warriors, and there's so much left from Parthia. Doesn't seem that's going to be that easy. I mean, there are 3 fresh units of Parthian swordsmen up here, and these guys, you know, these guys are a bit damaged, but they do have enough troops left, and they've just killed so much. The balance of power is in favor of the attackers. Just keep in mind also that defenders did they did burn, I think, 8 or 9 units just defending this area. They lost another unit there. I think 3 on the wall, another one down here. So that's, I think, 13, 14 units. So that's mostly one army wiped out. And meanwhile, the attackers still have a lot of troops. Again, their main problem is getting to the front lines. If they manage to get in, they're fine. Look how fast these guys are falling from just a few stray arrows. Boom. They're breaking. Basically, every one of those is a death sentence. If they get their charge in, they'll get a few decent kills. Come on. Getting those kills in. Getting those kills in. They are breaking, but they got like 5. Like, they almost shattered this unit just by those 4 men charging inside. So that's how good they are. Yeah, Cimmerian heavy archers called it. I saw them moving slightly. They're trying to snipe the general. Really sneaky move, I must say, but very, very good move. And that is the point. Ideally, when you do that, that's when you engage, so you make it very difficult for them to retreat from this position. If you engaged at the same time you were moving these up, that would have been such, like, think if you left them down here, they were not being seen. You just move them up, charge in while they're moving up, and you would have engaged all of this army and killed most of it, possibly killing both of the generals. At the same time this is happening, a beautiful way of blocking the arrow fire from the towers up here, placing the siege equipment right in that position. The walls over here are just covered by siege towers, and finally the Cimmerian line is just collapsing on this side. We see the envelopment starting to happen, and perhaps these Parthian swordsmen would like to walk by and prepare to deal with the fact that there's a lot of troops left on this hill and possibly a lot of archer units. As we were saying, that the desert levy is still running away. Trying to figure out a place to run to. And more Sabian archers, so that is going to prove a problem to deal with. As we say that, these guys, 200 kills on them, really good job. It shows the skill of the defender using that. So again, getting to 100 you know, kills on a unit of archers that has 125 range and 35 missile damage, it is very difficult. But Parthia's pulling out, luring them in. Thracian warriors charge in and just start racking up the kills. So, with one charge, okay? One charge, 45 kills, 50 kills, just massacring. The amount of damage these Thracian warriors do. They're glass cannons, but 76 kills with one charge, 80, the 2 units shattered, and the last unit of Musgrave Marauders over there. Just that unit already paid for itself, just charging and killing 2 units over there. The balance of power is forever shifting in the favor of the attackers. The main problem is that this cavalry over here is going to be such a big problem to deal with, because there's not much they have to deal with it. Their only solution is to fall back inside the settlement, hole up in this area, and start pushing forward through the city. And we might see a long city fight. I am not sure how much more the defense has in terms of units, but we shall see. Cimmerian heavy archers up here are back in, ready for some firing, but now the Parthian foot archers are ready and they're shooting in. It just shows you how strong the Cimmerian archers are. 20 kills right off the bat. just doing insane damage, and they have been fired at repeatedly, and this unit of Parthian foot archers over here getting absolutely murdered. They are low on ammunition. Yeah. Oh, the bait! Did you baiting? Oh, the baiting from Craig. I said, how few bows does he have? I mean, these guys are getting a lot of kills, yes, but 4 volleys that they did not need to waste into a unit of archers that they did not need to fight them. 105 kills though, I must say, that's quite impressive. And those archers are now broken, but wasting that ammunition is so important. Trajan bowmen coming in hot, and this entire location is being held. Scythian hoplites over there, Sabian archers. Are those Sabian archers really engaging in melee already? That's not going to be pretty. These Scythian hoplites over here facing off Thracian warriors, and most of the Thracian army is inside the settlement. They are retreating slowly from the hill, waiting for their ballista, I imagine, to get inside the settlement. But of course it is having problems moving through this little tight gap, and once it does, it will move in. They're protecting it with their cavalry, and they should have more than enough cavalry to defend it. They will need that ballista. Unfortunately, it seems that it's glitching through, which is not an amazing thing. The downside of having a siege tower over here is that will happen, unfortunately. These guys charging in, getting a decent number of kills, preparing to charge in again, ripping through the first wave. Archers coming over here. Cimmerian heavy archers all the way here, still fresh, lots of ammunition, and Sabian archers ready to shoot in. These Thracian warriors charge in and start ripping through these ranks. Again, these Scythian hoplites are, very good at defending their hoplite units, but damn, they are dying fast. Like, compare this to the other situation over there where they've held so long. These guys are losing decisively. 20 men already died with 2 charges from these Thracian warriors. And the archers up here, these archers are out of position, Thracian archers are out of position, and they need to deal with these Cimmerian heavy archers and Sabian archers. These Thracian warriors are going to break through the Scythians, only if these guys take a little while longer to shoot, or if they start shooting at another target. The hillmen are coming in to support the Thracian warriors over there. As we're saying that, the Scythian general over here is engaged with... No, it's actually not. The Muscat marauders are engaging with the Parthians over there. They've broken through. They're trying to get rid of the last Scythian hoplite unit. It seems Parthia has unfortunately lost most of its units fighting in this battle over here, but it is what it is. They've managed to get the siege tower out of the way with these Thracian warriors moving it out of the way, and finally they're able to move everything inside the settlement. Slowly but surely, they are not willing to. Now the cavalry is not willing to charge in, but they got a really good charge into these Thracian horsemen over there. But unfortunately, they did not go for the general, which is what they should have. And with the mercenary hoplites, this should be an easy win for the attackers. This fight should not go in favor of the defenders whatsoever. Those Himyar cavalry are not going to be able to survive against these mercenary hoplites, and the general is, however, inside the settlement. Thracian warriors, just 37 of them. Oh, the general with the baiting and the feint charge over there. These hoplites over here are getting surrounded, but they do have 15 bonus versus large, and so are these Thracian horsemen, have 15 and 10 bonus versus large equally. Over here, these Thracian warriors cycle charging into that unit over there, and so over on this side, these Scythian hoplites are not doing very well. These Thracian warriors are cycle charging as well. What is this? Magian cavalry breaking through that thin line of Scythian hoplites and Sabian archers and doing the damage that they need. They've shattered through with their charge, and hopefully the Scythian hoplites will start wavering and break. More Thracian nobles are being held in the rear. Unfortunately, the ballista, which so much effort was done to take it inside the settlement, is now being target fired by the fire arrows from the Syrian Cimmerian. Oh my lord. Okay, did the general die for these? No, the general barely survived. The Murray Pro cavalry survived, and the pulled out as the steppe lancers come in to the rescue. The Hymenian cavalry charges in again once more into the rear of the retreating army. The general is being pulled inside the settlement. Unfortunately, the Hymenian cavalry just manages to stop that from happening for a second longer. The Thracian warriors, along with the Royal Cataphracts, breaking through that line, and now they charge in straight into those Cimmerian heavy archers, which are very fresh. That is going to be a very big pity. The Royal Cataphracts charging in, and it massacres the beginning. These Royal Cataphracts, unfortunately, will not be able to do that much because it is a glitchy. You know, the battlefield inside settlements is very glitchy, but it is still doing more than enough. 36 kills from the charges, and this Cimmerian heavy archers is already down 20 men. Over on this side, the Parthian foot archers that are still alive are shooting at a flank into these Muscat marauders, and the noble infantry over here is pulling back. There is another unit over here, but that is, I believe, spent of its ammunition. Now they still have some ammunition, 189 kills. Very good kill count. These Cimmerian archers over here. Oh, these hillmen need to be charging forward. Why aren't they charging forward? There they go. They need to be charging forward and breaking into there, perhaps with the support of that Magian cavalry, which was over there. And this is a very big loss for the defenders, as this unit of Cimmerian archers still had so much ammunition left. And if the cavalry does make it through, it will be able to deal the damage necessary. Now I believe that the cavalry, yeah, you can see it over here, it is running towards the gate and trying to get inside the settlement, and that is very important. These Thracian Royal cavalry managing to break through, and now over here these Scythian hoplites are again once blocking the settlement as much as possible, and these Cimmerian heavy archers are going to get rear charged and frontal charged between hillmen and Thracian Royal Cav, which should be more than enough to remove them from the game. It seems the Parthian assault over here was pretty much annihilated in this one hoplite wall over there, and that is absolutely what hoplite walls are for, along with a really good strong missile roster. This is what the entire roster would mean. Now, these Cimmerian archers are, they're not called heavy for no reason. They do hold their own very well. They have 20 melee defense, 35 armor. It's not the best, but it's still more than enough. The Cimmerian nobles over here blocking the Royal Cataphract, doing a lot of damage to the general of the Parthian army. The Parthian army is unfortunately very much spent, and there's not much left except the legendary hillmen, of course. Now what he could do is come all the way around here and just get into this capture point over there, and then just charge straight into the rear. They do not have enough troops to protect every single one of their exits, and blocking them off here while their cavalry is coming inside the settlement, you will give you the opportunity of killing the cavalry, capturing the capture point, and winning the fight. There's more than enough Thracian nobles left to do so. Now, Thracian nobles would be a fantastic unit to deal with that force. Yeah, this is what you need to use Royal Cataphracts for. Charging into that Muscat Marauders, 85 and already down to 65. 20 kills right on impact, and we're going to see them fall down further. This unit's pretty much going to get destroyed. 55, down 30 men already, 35 men, and only 2 or 3 of the Royal Cataphracts died. Honestly, this Muscat Marauder is holding up much longer than expected. The cavalry should keep pushing in though, however, they do have the opportunity of getting those Cimmerian archers. It's right in front of you. You have pretty much gone through. I am not sure how they were playing, but that for me does not seem as if there was a wall holding them. And those archers are in such a precarious position. The charge them in. Brilliant charge over there. Moving in, blocking in the rear, defending the rear with these mercenary hoplites defending. Oh, it's such a painful loss for the defenders over here. These guys had so much ammunition left, and to just lose so many men right off the bat. Unfortunately for the attackers, actually, I must say. That looked really good for the attackers, but really, truly, most of them got back up, and the general got a rear shot from that side. As I'm saying that though, the Royal Cataphracts over here are doing a beautiful job holding, and this Cimmerian noble over here is getting cycle charged by the Thracian nobles, which will do a lot of damage. The Royal Cataphracts not smelling blood and doing the right thing, falling back and rear charging the Stygian hoplites over there to allow the entire army to come through, or are they going there and they're going for the Cimmerian archers over there, who are trying to get down the general of the Thracians, who did lose an insane amount of horses over there. However, the Royal Cataphracts are going to make them pay, because this is not going to go down well. The Cimmerian nobles actually are the ones who smelled blood in the water, and they have missed this charge coming in, this beautiful charge by this Royal Cataphracts. This Royal Cataphracts, 200 kills, going up really fast. It must be kept in mind, however, as well, as we're saying this, now the cavalry is inside the settlement for the defenders, and it is here. But these archers, they're not going to escape this really lightly. The general for the Cimmerian is he still alive? No, the general died, so that is going to be a big debuff for them. And the Thracian nobles gonna come rear charging those Cimmerian nobles. So, these are basic spears. Okay. Mercenary hoplites over here. So there is, being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Arrow fire in the rear, charging madmen wielding huge, large Sparta swords. I believe they're called. And this unit of very expensive noble infantry is being destroyed. The Royal Cataphracts killed 55 more of these Cimmerian archers. Unfortunately, was destroyed by the Cataphracts. That is a big loss for Parthia over here, because they do have some troops left. They have a lot of ammunition left, but they do not have much left. This ballista over here, being able to do point-blank shots if necessary. Will it be necessary, however, as these Stygian hoplites are breaking their very thin line. There's not much left. The spears are moving into the rear. How many of these Royal Cataphracts? 20 Royal Cataphracts broken. That is a lot of Royal Cataphracts. And as we're saying that, there is no survivors, it seems, from these. This is a blow for blow. It is true that the balance of power is vastly in favor of the attackers, but I can see the reason why they do not want to charge forward, because these Cimmerian archers can easily balance the balance of power back into favor of the defenders with a few good shots into these very exhausted units. There's not much left to hold, and the general for Saba is still alive, so that can prove disastrous if the general for Thracia dies as well. The general for Thracia is still alive, yes, and they need that morale bonus, especially since the defenders have their defensive bonus down here. Still, these mercenary hoplites moving in slowly and methodically moving in, protecting each flank, and this is a city fight at the best parts of it. These Spartan foot archers getting a few pot shots in when they can. They kill 2 more models, and those models are so important. Oh wow, I've never realized those hills in the background. The sun does look much better with this settings on, although I wish I can put everything on ultra and extreme. But my laptop would melt if I was recording at the same time. Unfortunately, I do not have the the capacity of doing that. I might open a Patreon. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about it? Should I open a Patreon? Well, let me know if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. I doubt that there are, because it's still a very small channel, and well, let's not make myself sound as if I'm thirsty for the monies. Okay, that's not much left, honestly. The defense is basically down to the cavalry, which they will, if they get a good rear charge, this entire army is shattered, because it's light infantry. I would classify Thracians as light infantry, not very heavy melee. They do heavy damage, but they are light. There are some Thracian bowmen over here which still have ammunition. They're moving in position. There's mercenary hoplites defending this region. I'm not sure where they're going. Yeah, I think he thought he could walk down this way or just this way, but apparently you have to walk down this way. Blocking this is more than enough. Putting your archers up here. Where are the Stygian? He could actually move up here and walk all the way down. Where are the Stygian steppe horses? I saw some movement over here. I believe they're preparing their final charge from over there, but the capture point is here. Oh, there they are. The steppe lancers coming in, trying to get a good rear charge into these mercenary hoplites before they get onto the wall. And they just might clip some of them. And they charged in these mercenary hoplites. They were at a decent level. Step Lancers won't get 10 kills though. Step Lancers again, they're good against missile units. They're a decent shot cavalry, but they have their limitations. Now, unfortunately, these Thracian nobles are the only thing that's holding this little area, and if they do come up here, these Thracian bowmen do not stand a chance. Neither do these Thracian slingers. This is a really tense moment. Where are they moving their troops to? They are capturing that arrow tower. These, Step Lancers versus foot Step Lancers. Let's call these Thracian noble stuff. These guys had 11 kills. Let's see how many kills they got. Column formation is a really good idea when you're trying to break a horse unit. They did get a few kills, but Thracian nobles won that fight. Their charge bonus is 63, whereas these guys, their charge bonus is 51. They have a better charge bonus than the Thracians, and they were going downhill, which makes it even worse for them. Now, they are getting shot at, and that is a really terrifying place to be in. That cavalry unit has been destroyed. For all intents and purposes, it does not exist anymore. Down to 20 men from 80 men. Not doing that well. They did survive. They're very shaken, not stirred yet, but the arrow tower is being captured by the Ossidian Kingdom, and the rest of the army is moving in slowly and surely. The cataphracts over here charging in, trying to get a decent charge against the Parthian swordsmen. They're being supported by the Parthian ballista over there and some more Thracian warriors. The spears coming in, and the spears seem to chase the cataphracts all the way out of that area. More spears over here waiting to charge in, and these spears are actually proving themselves to be worthy. They have 25 bonus versus large, which is making up for the fact they have 13 melee attack and 25 weapon damage. Actually, I want to check how much of that is armor piercing. 7 armor piercing damage is not bad, frankly. That is not bad whatsoever. These Step Lancers are keeping these hoplites onto the walls, but they are getting shot to bits with these arrow towers, and that is what you want in this current situation. These Parthian foot soldiers coming in, covering this area. This is the end. Even if they charge in with their cavalry, 2 units, 3 units of troops is enough to capture that, and support with the archers is enough. It is almost GG. There's some Cimmerian troops up here hiding somewhere, and these Kamat cataphracts are cycle charging, breaking the last Parthian foot melee over there. Parthia only has those 2 archers left, and they're slowly retreating into, retreating back through the city and holding choke points. There's only 1, 2, 3 choke points, but if you fall back here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Perhaps it might have been best to hold here, here, and here, but then I could have run this way. So 1, 2, 3 maybe, and then running the appropriate direction as they're coming along. The attackers can only see that there are troops here. Wait, where are they? There are Cimmerian troops. Oh, the Cimmerian troops went all the way around. There are the Lancers down there, which are ready for a good fight. And there are the Royal Merit Cavalry over there, as well as the Sabian Cataphracts on that side. This is a very tense final, coming down to the last bit of fight. Hopefully they're forming phalanx. They need that extra melee defense as the charge comes in, and the charge last second pulls out and tries to cycle around. These Thracian nobles, it seems these Step Lancers did not learn their lesson. Do not charge Thracian nobles, because Thracian nobles will beat your ass. As we're saying that, these Thracian nobles are once again the only thing holding back the entire balance of power, which is in the ammunition that these guys are holding. Parthian foot soldiers throwing in a volley, getting a decent few kills there, considering it was a light-hearted volley. Perhaps blocking this region. No, you can't, because they will swipe around that area. So yeah, it's just at this point it's just leaving that unit as a deterrent and moving through that area. The cataphracts are moving in the Maribro cavalry, but at this point the safety is undisputed, and these Thracian nobles charging in, getting off their charge bonus against these Step Lancers, who are also being shot down and they're down 4 to 5 men, and they only got 6 kills. So those guys are not getting value for money whatsoever. They're very cheap. I believe they're only 500 gold, but you know, it's not value for money. As we're saying that, these cataphracts charging into these mercenary hoplites over here, dealing a number of casualties on the mercenary hoplites. They're losing decisively because they got charged in the flank, but this general is so important at this point. The only morale bonus apart from the capturing of the main point that is left. Capturing that is going to be very important for the attackers, because then the morale of these guys will collapse pretty much. These guys have only 35 morale, and the archers do not have that much. They did not manage to kill the general, however. The general's still alive. There is exhaustion. Archers are moving in, the bowmen are moving in, and it is pretty much game at this point. They're trying to delay as much as possible. I can understand there's 15 minutes left of the game, however, and that's a bit too much with the current troops. What the defense did wrong is it overcommitted here. Even if it won this war, they were defeated in detail everywhere else. And by the time Cimmeria pulled back its troops to try and defend these areas, it was too late because the forces were already in. Like, this unit of Cimmerian nobles should not have died that fast. They could have easily defended up here, these two blocking areas. Block off this area, put your archers up here, put a couple of units defending down there. You would have been absolutely fine. The 3 units of Cimmerian nobles or hoplites even would have been enough to hold there for long enough the archers to do as much damage as possible, and as well as delaying another 15-20 minutes, just holding off that area. And then not speaking about the fact that you can defend here, put some troops in here, countering, defending this gatehouse does so much damage. Just put your troops like this, let them bump in, and then these arrow towers do the rest. The Dacian ballista is moving in. The general is still alive with only a few dozen men alive, and he's getting shot from down from the hill, and is losing a lot of troops over there. Moving out of position. He's staying in position, and more arrows are coming up. But of course, his cavalry moving, it does miss a lot of those troops. The mercenary hoplites are braced in formation. They collapse on each other. I hate this when this happens. They try to reform themselves, but these spears are getting ripped. The Thracian nobles over here are getting a few decent kills, but these spears holding their own. These are super cheap units. They're super weak. They are holding their own. Now these cataphracts should be coming down this way and trying to break through this way. They should be able to see this. And in fact, that is what they're doing. 2 minutes left on the clock. I wonder what is going to happen. It seems they are capturing the middle of the map, and they're moving their ballistas in, and this is a really good way to stop the charges from those staff lancers. Those ballistas are absolutely fantastic at doing such a thing, as they act as immovable objects pretty much. With enough ballistas, you can actually block an entire pathway from being used or glitch it to Kingdom Come. The Himyar cavalry are still doing very well. The Maribor cavalry, only 10 left. Seems this guy did not want to charge down this way. Parchment foot soldiers are out of ammunition, but these mercenary hoplites supporting them would be more than enough. These spears over here just acting as a deterrent, slowing down the cavalry. The general is dead. I repeat, the general is either dead or pretty much retreating. These spears charging in, missile fire coming in these cataphracts and doing a lot of damage. The middle point is being captured, is pretty much neutralized and is being captured. The final charge of these men are coming in. These archers are preparing their best chance of firing and capturing that center, killing as many troops as they can. They are trying to delay, and these staff lancers unfortunately are getting shot from the flank, and more of them are dying. The ballista shots just hitting them point blank. They do get a charge into these Thracian nobles, but the ballista is doing so much damage to them, breaking them pretty much right off the bat. The army loss penalty is triggered, and the armies are shattering. These camels. Oh my god, I got stuck there. Wow, this was really intense towards the end. I had only seen the first 10 minutes of the game pretty much till they got onto the walls, but was very intense. I must give it to the defenders for holding on so long after their disastrous attempt, and I have to call it a disastrous attempt. But it is absolutely fantastic game, really good show skill, like amazing teams and amazing fights. Really good, and really looking forward to seeing more games from both teams. It's been a while, but this was a worthy casting and replay. Guys, also remember, very soon, from the end of this week now, this is today's Monday, from the end of this week or start sometime in next week, I'll be uploading games from the Coliseum tournament, and that's going to be fantastic. Now, wow, 2,376 kills for Craig Shields, lovely, and somehow tactical Quasadilla, 2,000 kills and 1,600 death. Most of his army is still pretty much alive, especially his missiles and his hoplites, some of his Thracian nobles and his spears. Craig Shields with Partia, his entire army was gone except these two units. The Big Disaster. His Crimean nobles did a lot of work. His Cimmerian nobles, sorry, and his Cimmerian hoplites, and just they held their own. Unfortunately, these two Cimmerian heavy archers did not do well, but this one did really good and was alive till the end. Legacy, on the other hand, he lost his Desert Levy pretty much for free. His Muskrat Marauders, as good as they did, some of them were killed for free as well, and perhaps that is where they overcommitted to the walls. They did really well, and must take my hat off to them. They did really well to hold against the assault they got, and this was a really difficult map to fight on to begin with. With regards to that, Craig and Essence, sorry for you have to change your name again now. Essence Undercover did really fantastic, and a big cheers to them for winning the tournament. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did enjoy casting this game. It's been a while since I enjoyed casting a game like this much, like genuinely amazing. If you did, please subscribe. 400 gold soon. At 400, there's going to be another giveaway after the Atala is done. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Take care, guys, and did I tell you? Yes, I did. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye.